after it now. Welcome everybody. I'm gonna do a little painting tonight. Welcome to the studio. My name is David Lozeau. This is your first live stream. We're gonna do a little painting tonight, so I thought I'd bring you guys along for the ride. Got a new piece here, painting on the easel rather than the tabletop way we normally paint. So I thought I'd give you guys a little look at that. So tonight we're gonna just really focus on the upper body here and share that process with you. So I'm gonna do some painting tonight. So feel free to fire some questions along. We're streaming on a bunch of different channels: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. If you have any problems, YouTube seems to be the most stable, so feel free to check it out there, or Twitch, or anywhere else. We're on all those platforms.
Do you think you could angle your mic more towards you?
Angle my microphone.
It's pulling, but it's...
Well, it's looking in the back of my. It's in the back of my head.
Yeah.
So no.
That's okay.
So I'll try and.
That's better, I think.
Is it better?
Yeah.
All right. So again, feel free to fire any questions through while I'm painting. Thanks for joining us. This piece is sold, but there will be prints available. This is a commission. There'll be prints available in a few weeks, in paper and canvas and all those variations. So let's get going. So this is the way I actually paint the most. Before the pandemic, I used to own festivals and shows is how I painted. So painting on easel is really how I always painted. I've only started doing tabletop a little more, obviously, recently being off the road. So it's fun to kind of go back to that a little bit. I apologize if my head gets in the way for this stuff over here. The camera's right in my ear. Actually, a little bit of the water, and we'll just go over to the focus on Neptune. In the promised land.
Sorry if they can hear me typing. I'm just trying to get Instagram up.
Yeah, you're any typing. We're just doing the Instagram, trying to get that up and running, and live streaming, which is not nearly as glamorous as you would think.
It's not. Huge hassle.
Yeah, huge pain in the ass. But I do enjoy the upside, obviously, is the sharing and being there and showing the work. That's the fun part. It's just the technology side is less than. And the shipping department don't do shit to help out.
All right. Well, I'll figure out the Instagram later.
Uh-huh.
So, John says, "Looks awesome, brother."
Thanks, John.
Sarah's bragging. My brother's better than your brother.
Well, she is right. She is right.
Linda's saying, "Wow, I love all your pictures, especially the skeletons." Well, thank God.
Thank you, Linda. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Linda. Good thing. Good thing.
On Twitch, when the fruit is ripe, is saying, "This is very cool. What are you painting?"
Thank you. When the fruit is ripe. First of all, thank you for being the 4th follower on Twitch. We are blowing up. But so this is Neptune. And so I'm painting like an opaque watercolor. And this is enamel that I'm doing now for all the details. So if you're following along tonight, you're going to see me basically work on him, Neptune. And I'll be doing all the detail of his armor, kind of this whole section right here tonight. So I encourage you to check it out, hang out.
Mark says dopeness.
Thank you, Mark.
And we've got Baby Divine and Herrera Jr. in the house.
All right, the Baby Divine in the house.
And the puppy just knocked something off the shelf.
Awesome. Shipping department's helping out.
It's going exactly to plan.
Yeah, this has been how it has been the entire time.
Okay. All right, so Instagram is up now.
All right,
I
Instagram.
apologize to all those people.
Sorry, Instagrammers.
We had some issues.
Instagram is less than cooperative.
Yeah, it is.
Of all the streaming, it seems to be, well, now Facebook sucks too. But Instagram seems to battle us the most. But again, thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate you dealing with it. We've had some battlings the last couple of weeks, but we're sorting out. We got new cams and stuff, so we're just working on sorting it all out. So I appreciate you guys, your patience and understanding while we...
Out of the picture, so it's
just the big dog is doing nothing. Yeah.
Linda's saying, for someone who's just starting to paint, what's the best paint you would recommend?
Great question, Linda. So Linda's asking, for someone just starting to paint, what paint do I recommend? Well, this is I'm going to give you the short, long answer. I would try everything, though. Just buy the cheap versions of things. So buy some watercolors. You know, get a few of those. You don't need a lot of paints and a lot of colors, though. Just a few colors will give you how a paint works and to see if you like it and if your brain kind of connects with that. If I was starting out, I would just do acrylics first. You can get them very cheap. Get a couple of small tubes of just the primary colors, RGB. You can mix those. CMYK, cyan, magenta. Just get some red, blue, green, yellow, a couple of those, and just try it out to basically get a feel for that. Watercolor, buy one of those cheap, looks like a makeup, I don't know what you call that, makeup display looking thing. Like you open it up and there's little palettes of color in there, like when we were kids, we used to get those cheap sets. I mean, get one of those. Just that's all you need is to try test it out and see how you like, watercolor. Try all those ways, but start with acrylic first, watercolor, and then after that, try pastels and see if if that's more related to you. Color pencils. I would avoid oil paints till the end. They're very challenging just in terms of the way they mix. So find out what you like about the other colors before you make that jump. But the most important part, I would say, regardless of the paints you use, is to start drawing. Start using that part of your brain. Do sketches. Start, working that part. Because it doesn't matter what kind of paint you use. If what you're painting, it doesn't work, your painting, the paint type isn't going to help your painting not be crappy. You got to learn those compositions, work those muscles in your brain. Just start sketching and getting familiar and hand-eye and getting those parts of your brain to work together.
The Instagram comments weren't coming in at first, and now they are. So if I missed anybody, it's because they didn't.
If you're on Instagram, you had a comment, just please fire it back through. The comments weren't coming in; they just started coming in now, so we missed all the early ones. So if there's nobody, then we suck and no one cares. But if we missed you,
then we
apologize. Because Instagram is not helpful. So I hope that answered the pain question. I kind of went on a diatribe there, but I'm trying to feel like the paint type is all end all be all. It's find what works for your brain and how your brain connects to it is how. I found this enamel and this made sense for my brain because it's how my brain worked in terms of doing line art and just made sense. You got to find what medium it is that is your calling. But I do watercolor. I love that for how different it is and how light and airy. You can do it anywhere. But it's also unforgiving. You can't undo when you put paint down. You can't really do much with it afterwards. There's challenges to each medium, but just you start with a good drawing. It gives you the best chance of success.
Rick Brown says Gringo Loco.
Oh, Jesus. How's New Hampshire getting in the room all the time? What's going on, Rick?
An intriguing question from Sarah. For someone just starting out, when are you going to make a tarot deck?
Oh, God, that tarot deck. I'm convinced that she's sending people to message me because I'm getting like messages once a week now when my tarot deck is coming out. So I think what we've decided on the tarot deck is that we're gonna do one big painting that contains the tarot elements, and that's what you're gonna get. You can cut up into 72 pieces or 76 pieces. My head out of the way of that shot.
You could move it more. Yeah.
That's a no.
It'd be nice to not see the head.
Well.
Yeah, Sarah says she's just starting rumors.
Starting rumors.
Oh, and now she's saying she'll buy the original because she's a rich bitch.
Ah, man.
Oh, Nelly. Oh, boy. That's funny. Ryan Gordon says, amazing work, true artistry.
Hey, thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining the stream.
So how long do you think you've spent on the painting so far?
So right now we're probably at, I think it was about 6 hours of gouache. Background was 2 hours. The lightning.
About drawing?
The drawing was a few. Yeah, we're probably at already 10, 15 hours. Maybe even as many as 20 hours before we got to this point. Again, this is an exciting piece. This is just a concept I had for a while and just found the perfect application for it. And was able to kind of flesh it out, and I'm really excited to paint this one. I love painting nautical pieces. I did Neptune a long time ago, so it was a perfect chance to revisit.
Art de Mateo over on Instagram is giving a little wave. Lady Jane has little stars, little hearts in her eyes.
Thank you, Mateo. Thank you, Jane, for coming back to the stream. Appreciate it.
I don't know how to convey the emoji feelings.
I feel the emojis.
Okay.
You did a great job. I'm totally feeling.
I'm doing my best. Put your head back a little bit.
Please hold. Need to get in there.
Did you base this armor on anything?
So no, this armor I totally did myself. Yes, it's based on kind of a samurai feel to it for sure. Because I just think that's just the inherently coolest armor. I've done samurai paintings before. I love the style of armor, so I definitely used that as a heavy influence here to give it the kind of feel.
Art by Tobias over on Instagram is saying, what size brush is that?
Thank you, Art by Tobias, for hanging out. So this brush is a .05. It is a script liner, so it's basically one of the smallest script liners. I have a couple custom-made ones for me. They're a little smaller than this, but this is about as small as they go. This is my workhorse. This whole painting will be done with this brush in terms of the enamel. So this is what I like to use. It is the weapon of choice. From a variety of manufacturers, but all in usually the 1, but preferably the 05 size.
Ryan is asking, he says, the detail's amazing. How long have you been painting for?
So we started the stream about 10 minutes ago. So I've been painting now for, Jesus, these are the old questions. This points out how old I am. So we probably painting for around 15 years now, 16 years. Been professional full-time now for 10. I always drew as a kid. I have a fine art minor, but I didn't take any painting classes. So it's kind of all... I moved to Southern California about 15 years ago and really kind of started my painting career out here. My in-person jokes don't work as well through internet.
You do what?
My in-person old man jokes.
Oh, I need a snare drum.
Yeah.
Just so people know it's a joke.
Yes.
Because it doesn't feel
Doesn't
funny,
convey.
and
Yeah, it's not funny. My jokes aren't funny. My jokes aren't funny. I'm a painter. No one says, "Oh, let's go see that painter. He's a great comedian." No one. Out of the way enough. I feel like I'm in the way still.
Right now it's just fine. Just on the
All right.
edge of me smacking. Hands off Matiki over on Instagram. Wow. And the way it's spelled is funny.
Thank you, hands off.
Like hands off, and then last name Matiki. Some of these names kill me. What would you say the material of his armor is?
Like in real life, what would it be?
Yeah, like what? Yeah, if I was to understand what the feeling of that armor is.
Well, it's metallic, definitely.
So it's like armor.
Yeah, yeah. Not seashells.
And it does not rust.
Does not rust.
No issues.
It's gold. Gold doesn't oxidize at all.
Oh, that is heavy.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's Neptune.
He's very strong.
Gold is one of the few metals that does not oxidize or corrode.
Okay. Hands off says awesome work.
Thank you. Hands off or hands soft?
Hands soft.
Hands soft.
Underscore Matiki.
Oh, man.
It's funny when you see it.
It isn't.
I'm not conveying this properly.
This painting is actually, like I said, it's a commission, and the person who commissioned it is getting this as a full back tattoo piece, also. So that hurts even thinking about.
Oh, good luck to the tattoo artist. I say, this is not going to be easy.
Yeah, yeah. Good luck. I'm glad it's not me.
Well, I saw Pirate Hooker pop in a little while ago, so he was at least watching a while ago.
All right.
He should have to visualize the pain. Art by Tobias. It says, do you work on one piece start to finish, or go back and forth between pieces?
Great question, Art by Tobias. He's asking, do I work on multiple pieces at one time, or one piece and then complete it? I completely am a one-person piece and complete it. I have this irrational fear that if I switch paintings, I will forget how to paint this way and will not be able to match the style. It's irrational, it doesn't make any sense, but it's been my fear always, so. Rather than risk that coming true, we just one painting at a time. So basically one painting has my mental real estate, and that's it. It's weird, but it's literally been how I've, from day one, approached it, so that's just how we do.
Subject-wise, you could, though?
Oh, for sure.
So it's not, it has nothing to do with like subject.
No, it's
really
just
like,
weird mental, preference. It's a preference.
Okay.
I prefer to start and finish because I'm in this. I'm researching it. I'm in this mode. I want to see it finished just like everybody else. I'm excited as I start a piece to see it completed and to take that time off. I'm a notoriously slow starter. Like to start painting a piece, it'll often longer than it should take to get started. But once it's started. When I go offline tonight and we stop streaming, I'll keep painting, or I'll keep painting tomorrow without streaming. Once it started, I want to see it finished.
Do you feel like you see how this is going to end up? Or is a lot of this like figuring it out as you're doing it?
I have hopes of the direction I want to go. A lot of it I'll be figuring out as I go, that I don't know how it will end. There's a lot of things here that are brand new. The water, the lightning, things I had not done before. Some of the fire treatments. Combining a lot of things I have never combined into one painting before. So I'm very excited to see how that works out. You know, to see in a painting. So again, I have a good idea of the direction, but I'm figuring out a lot of things when I get there. And I think that confidence, I've been painting long enough, and you know, I know how to get there. There's some detours I may have to take to get to certain parts to figure them out. But for me, this has been a very enjoyable painting because unlike my smaller pieces or the oral I did the other night, like I don't know all the answers to this. You know, those smaller pieces, I've done enough to know and feel confident and just jump in and know how we're going to end up. But this kind of thing here, it really is, you know, combining a bunch of things, and there's some uneasiness, and it's a great feeling. It's a fun feeling as an artist to not be so sure and to have challenges. And I paint a ton, and to still have that excitement is something I'm really excited for. So I enjoy having that uneasiness.
J. Cornelius Fox says, from the line work to color matching, I don't envy the tattoo artist's task. But I really want to see the results.
I totally agree. The tattoo artist is going to have a real tough time. But, you know, there's some really good guys out there.
Oh, God, they haven't even seen the bottom yet.
Yeah. This is...
There's some other challenges for a tattoo artist coming up.
There's some... yes, exactly. So I can show it when we wrap up here. But this scene actually is all on the top of the water. Then you see... underneath the water, there's a water line you see underneath where all the tentacles, and there's a pile of skulls and stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be a nightmare for them. I'm glad I get out before that part. Eyeballs a hair too big for my liking. Shrink that down.
You jump into the left
Classic
bar.
mistakes. Classic mistakes.
Since I saw you doing that,
I'm like, oh, damn it. What am I over there for? Yeah. I should be over here. Going in. But I get excited. I want to, you know, some parts are challenging. I want to get to them. I want to see how they work out. I'm excited to see how certain parts work as much as you guys are.
So Nicole is asking about how long have you been working on this one? And it might have been answered already, but I just got here. It's stunning, and I'm excited to catch you live streaming again.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you for joining me again. So this piece here, we are, I think, like I said, almost 15 hours in. He's getting rather large. I think he's like 30 by 38. Again, a lot of stuff we hadn't done ever. I've never done lightning before, so it was really exciting to use that. I got the airbrush out for that thing, and some just aspects of the water that I've never done before. So it's been a really exciting painting. There's a lot of things that have never been done by me before, so it's really been enjoyable to kind of experience that challenge.
Oh my gosh, Raymond Lafferty.
Oh, Raymond's on the...
Yeah.
Great to see you, man.
He says hello. My gosh.
Great to see you. Hope you're doing great. O-Side Original.
My goodness.
Why do I keep going over to that
I
side?
don't know.
Alright, let's... I think it'll solve my problem if I just do the other one. Then I'll stop. I'm gonna get in the way for a second here.
Oh, look at that big head.
Yeah, I know.
Nicole says, wow, fast worker. Looks like months of work.
It feels like months of work. But like I said in an earlier question, like this is the project I'm on. When I'm on this, you know, this is the one that gets all my attention. So I finish up a really large Western commission. You saw me stream, if you guys watched, you know, a few weeks ago. So as soon as that one was done, it was on to this guy.
Ray says he's doing great.
Excellent, Ray. It's great to hear.
So what do you think you're going to do with the eyeball? You going to keep it in? Do something to it? Not do something to it?
I think it's going to be just like that.
Alright.
I don't want to give it a pupil.
I think it gets painted out.
It might get painted out. There's always a distinct
I
possibility.
am willing to put money on it.
Yeah. And that's a good bet.
Ray says he has a big show in June of 2022 in La Jolla.
Oh, excellent.
Ooh, wow. That's nice and close.
Exciting to
See
hear.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he says it's great watching you paint.
Appreciate it, man. Great to see you.
La Jolla or fancy.
Oh, he's always been very fancy, though. He slums when he hangs out with us.
Chuck Lines says amazing work as always.
Hey, thanks, Chuck. Appreciate it.
Matt Moore Designs popped over on IG saying that it looks sick.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you guys both for hanging out.
Ray saying stop it. No, you're very fancy.
You're very fancy.
La Jolla.
Raymond reminds me that I'm a crappy dresser, and artists should dress better than I do.
I think everyone reminds you of that.
Yes. I think we're gonna see, now I've gone and done it because I shouldn't even be over here yet.
I know. Now, what makes you go over and start painting in an area you shouldn't?
Because I'm more excited to get to the skull, like
You just want to get.
like everybody else. I want to see the skull done. I mean, his look will be, you know, the most important part of the whole piece. So I tend to sprint to that part. I gotta go up there and finish his crown first, though. I can't be down here doing this right that I'm doing. Gotta get back up there. Plus, I hate long lines. Because I'm painting at an angle, sitting down, sharing. If I was by myself, I would stand up and block the camera to do it. But since I don't have that option, it's a little harder. But we will overcome.
You're so brave.
I don't know. Having learned to paint out, you know, and doing all my festivals and being out in the street with people, able to really deal with every kind of situation, every possible rain, snow, sleet, kettle corn.
Eddie is saying, do you sketch your art, then paint your colors, and then when everything looks good, add your lines? So, like, what's your process?
Yes. So Eddie's asking kind of the outline of the process. So I start with my drawing first for the painting. So I complete the drawing. Once the drawing is completed, I paint the background, meaning just the acrylic color. None of the detail stuff. Once that's done, then I print out my drawing, because I do my drawing digitally. I print that out, and then I transfer that sketch to the background with graphite transfer paper. Now you can see a little bit of those lines. I'm trying to find the white lines you kind of see here amongst the beard. I'm not sure if they show up on camera well, but some of those white lines, that's all my sketch. So once the sketch is on there, then I paint all my colors, and then line work goes in last. If that makes sense. All right, let's tackle this son of a bitch here.
Chuck says, do you ever sit back and look at your art and think, damn, I'm good?
Chuck, what happens is I will kind of look at stuff sometimes and go, wow, I did that. Like, I'd be very, proud and excited that I couldn't have ever seen myself doing work like that. So I guess I do have that kind of reaction sometimes where I'm like, huh, look what I did. Usually in the big dramatic pieces like that Western one I just finished, this kind of stuff here, like, I know when I finish I'll be like, wow, that's just, I like that. I like that art. I did something that I like. It's just weird to be able to capture, that kind of stuff.
Raymond says he's been painting hardcore since December. He's done 4 48 by 48s and a 17 foot by 51.
Oh, see, now Raymond's just bragging.
That's massive.
He's like, well, you guys were all sleeping. Some of us have been working. That's awesome.
Ooh, going big, though, is probably fun, huh?
Oh, it's the most fun. If you're going to bother to do it.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, Raymond. I hope to see it. Post some info when the show's going to be.
17 feet.
That's crazy.
What are you doing? Nicole said there's something so soothing about filling in the eyes of the skulls. It's always the best part of drawing skulls.
Completely agree.
That's funny.
It's like I make myself slow down. The eyes will be there when you get there. Stop rushing.
Hey, Bjork's in the house.
Oh, excellent.
This is how you guys doing?
Hey, Bjork. Welcome back.
Ben Wright says, hello, Dave. You're making my Friday nights better. I watch as others ask questions. You're the best.
Hey, thanks, Ben. Appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with us. I have really enjoyed the streaming over the last months. I guess this is what I'd be doing at home anyways, and it's kind of be able to connect and share the art. I enjoy that. So I appreciate you guys all hanging out here and putting up with me and watching the work be done. We do appreciate it. Dogs are like, ugh, shut up.
The little one's over here snoring.
Who cares? Like, we see this all the time. This is kind of boring to us.
Bjork is asking, because he hasn't been on the stream since the beginning. He says, this looks cool. What's the character?
Oh, thanks, Bjork. So this is Neptune. You can't see, there's a big trident in his hand. I don't think it's in your frame, but he's holding a big trident that's on fire, and there's all tentacles coming up, and you guys can't see it, but there is a, below that, there is a water line, and you see under the water line, there's all kinds of tentacles and skulls all underneath the water where he's standing. We'll try and show that when we post the picture after the stream.
Oh, cool. Raymond says he'll put us on the list, so we don't need invites or anything. Like, we can be like on the list.
On the list, man. You know who I am? They'll go, you're dressed poorly. You're David.
We will not wear anything from Costco. We will be fully dressed.
Oh, man. Don't go making promises for us.
It's 2022. By then, I'll be able to get out of the sweat.
Ah.
I'm so glad that I'll have time.
We're on the list.
That'd be fun. Samantha over on Instagram says, I love your artwork.
Thank you, Samantha. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining the stream here. So excited to be on a list.
Ben says, I was with you all for the Oriole painting last week and asked a lot of questions. How's the shipping department this evening? So lazy.
They are here.
If I show you, all you're going to see is a dog butt in a picture, but I'll try to... Oh, a sleepy girl. I don't think Instagram can see it because she's off on the screen. But...
If you're on Instagram, you're missing the dog cam. Just so you're aware.
Nicole's saying, do you stream only the linework process, or have I just missed the others?
So Nicole's asking if I stream the other process. So I have streamed in the past on the smaller ones. I've done the gouache too. It's just boring, and because there's no darks really, the cameras have a tough time light balancing for it. So it gets really blown out because the whites blow it out. So I tend to skip to the fun part.
Samantha on Instagram is saying, what is this painted on? What's the surface?
So this is, let me just finish that question about the process. If you go to my YouTube channel though, you can see a bunch of process videos that have the full gouache going into the background. So you can see how gouache works and how it all gets laid together. So the question is, what is the background that I'm painting on? So this is actually, and I always paint on board. It's a coated masonite, made by a company called Ampersand. And it basically, it's already pre-gessoed. It's super smooth. It's kind of like hot press paper with the consistency, I would say. So it has a little bit of texture, but not a lot. Just a little bit of tooth. So just enough to have a little feeling for it. So just have a little bit, kind of like a, like I said, a hot press paper. Just there's a little tinge bit there.
One dog moving, one dog snoring. Oh, Frump. My girl. We had a little dog action. That was so exciting.
Ah, that's what you get. Add a little volume to this crown here. I just feel like it's a little.
Ruben is asking, saying, I love the work. Do you recommend one shot for exterior artwork?
Great question. So, do I recommend one shot for exterior artwork? It's been what sign painters have used for 100 years in that way. Now they've had some issues. Right now, you can't even find black anywhere in the country because there's a recall on it, and there's challenges. If you're doing like a mural, then no. If you're doing sign painting lettering on a door or glass work, then yes, it's definitely in the top one or two choices for sure. If you're doing like a mural, then again, like spray paint, much easier, long lasting and coverage wise. But for lettering and detail stuff and smaller scale, again, like sign painting stuff, then for sure.
Raymond's saying I finished up my painting day to watch painting on the internet. Sounds like your life.
Yeah. Make someone else do the work.
That's so true.
I just felt like the crown was a little thin, so we're going to add some little shadow reflection, kind of like that. It's a really harsh edge on a raised edge to the front of that crown, so the light's catching this hard edge, and we'll kind of build that edge out a little bit. I don't know.
Alan over on Instagram is saying, I thought Neptune's crown was a 5-point crown, not a 3-point. I do not know. We will ask him.
We will ask him, and if so, there's 2 more points in the back you can't see.
Nicole's saying, do you ever complete your digital sketches? When I first found you, I thought for sure this was digital artwork, and I was pleasantly surprised out that it wasn't.
So I don't. The question is, do I complete my digital sketches? I haven't done any full rendered digital art in a long time. It's all sketch work, and then I switched to painting at that point. So I have not done that full deal in a long time, and don't usually. I enjoy the freedom it gives me sketching wise, so that's usually as far as I take it. I like that crown a lot better now.
Ray said artist's choice on Neptune's crown.
Yep.
Jovine is saying, hi, great work. What type of brush are you using? I like watching.
Thank you, Jobine. Welcome. So the brush I'm using now is a synthetic brush. It's a pinstriper's brush, but it's just a synthetic. It's an 05 script liner. This one happens to be a Kafka brush, but I also use Treccles, Robert Simmons, and Lowell Cornell's, all the golden tectons. Really a variety of script liners, but all synthetic, and all usually in that, like I said, in that 1 or 05 range.
And had you mentioned before what brand of gouache do you use? Alan is asking.
Oh, so the gouache that I use is Holbein. It's also the brand of acrylics that I use. It's also the brand of watercolors that I use. I just think their stuff's super pigmented. I love it. I think it has just a great coverage. It's not cheap. I wouldn't recommend it for beginners just because it's too expensive. But it's a great, again, for just super pigmented. I love the acrylic gouache is my favorite. But again, I find their acrylics would just be beautiful too. All right, now I like what's going on there. Let's do the eyeball. Let's get to, well, hold on. Let's.
Ben Wright is saying, since David seems busy, how is Mrs. Lozeau this evening, and how is it spending life with an artist?
Don't ask questions like that and give her the chance to answer
well,
them.
Let me pull out my list.
Let me unroll the scroll work.
I've been keeping.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Very fun to be a part of art constantly being creative and seeing what people like and their ideas and how they respond to it. It's pretty cool.
And as an artist, to have someone that has seen all my work and everything I've done, to be able to ask questions of and draw, it's amazing to have that kind of person you can lean on, because I'll plagiarize myself, or and just do things, and it's just great to have someone who can push you and let you know, no, you got that doesn't work, because as an artist you can get very much like, that works, I'm an artist, that's perfect, it is because I say it is. You can get kind of in that mode and have someone there who's seen all the pieces and will be truthful and honest. It's great to have someone you can bounce that off of. I think it's an important weapon to have.
Nicole's saying she likes that brand too, likes Holbein.
Yep. No, I think that's just great stuff.
Raymond's saying great artists use those types of brushes. A bunch of art material snobs on this list.
Well, yeah. And now, is he going to take the eyeballs out or not take the eyeballs out?
I think he will.
I think we have to wait till the end.
I can't think of a painting.
There isn't any.
In the past 8 years.
That has eyeballs.
Like, I can think of a few, but I can tell you almost every one of them, eventually that eye just goes bloop, 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 and it's gone.
And make a line, and it's a good chance.
There is something to the hollowness of them. I like that.
Just a grittier look.
Yeah. The Chronic Company over on the IG says badass, dude.
Hey, thanks Chronic Company for hanging out. Thanks for joining the stream again. And now the funny things just happened now. I literally just did the tough parts in my mind, the parts I was worried about.
Which was what?
The eyes, the eyes, the skull shape, the crown. Some of those ones that I was not worried, just I knew I had to get done. Those would be a challenge when I got there, and now it's almost like almost the chains are off. Picking up another gear because it's all it's like the fun stuff now. I can't mess it up. There's not too many gigantic long lines to pull where I could screw it up. Like if I'm doing like an archer, I'll worry about the string for the entire painting. Pulling that one big long line, because there's no fixing it with enamel. I mean, that line is what it is. So those kind of weird catches that I'll worry about. So with this painting, I just passed the last couple things I was worried about. Now it's the water will be a challenge, but I don't know. That's the next challenge. I got a long way to go until I start working on that. So this is kind of like this is all just fun now. Now I gotta put an extra crown, apparently 2 extra crown points in there somewhere.
Do whatever you want.
I feel like because nobody paints the trident blue like it's supposed to be. Mine's in fire, so it is blue under the fire.
Well, you'll show us.
I'll show you guys.
So use it.
Can't make me do anything.
I can make you move your head.
Oh, come on. Is it in the way again?
Yeah. The thing drifts over there.
Man. I got some teeth to slap in here. Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. See, this is why I skip to these parts. These are the super enjoyable parts for me. Like,
really?
Because every line makes his face, carves out expression.
Mm-hmm.
I have a really weird job, and I really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
What's your job? Painting weird skeletal mythology creatures. what it is today.
It's interesting how now that you've carved out the crown, how you have that light blue reflection in the inner part of the points. That's funny. I didn't notice that as much until just now.
Yeah, let's you pull it in.
I don't know if it's conveying online, but then just see that little bit of blue highlight on the side of his face too. That's interesting. Like the more you use your dark color around it to define the skull, the more that little blue color comes out.
Yep, exactly. Where it looks weird and out of place when you see the gouache, you're like, why is that so strong? I don't know how it's gonna look.
Yeah. It feels very strong.
Yeah.
Ray says, I love when an artist finishes the checklist and says, yay, playtime.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Whee!
Yeah, it's definitely parts that artists just feel very, very inherently comfortable with. And once you get to those, whether it's background, like when I'm slopping the paint around, there's just fun parts that are just less constricting. This is obviously very tight and very constricting, but even in this part, there's parts that for me are just like, not that you can't mess up, but it's very freeing.
So really, straight lines are the scary stuff.
Yes, just because they have to be.
Yeah.
That's why I try and use them when they need to be, but no more than they need to be. I mean, I like a hand done finish. I want you to know this is hand done. These strokes aren't perfect. There's imperfections that come from something being handmade versus digital. But some things like a crooked line, something really awkward like that would really stick out. I don't want that.
I think I could guess your answer to this, but I will ask it. Ben is saying Syracuse is beating up on SDSU 32-18. What are your thoughts?
Is that chess? I hope they gets his pawn and gets the throw goal.
Yeah. Throwball is my favorite sport.
Throwball is my favorite. Go sports. I don't watch any of that anymore. I never liked... I'm going to rant now. I never liked any college sports because I refuse to vote for a logo. They should be paid. I think it's just not fair to use their likenesses and have these kids make money for schools and not be compensated. So I've always avoided the sports because of that reason. That college in particular, I think it's just a shame to put those athletes, student athletes we call them, when they're just used by the colleges. So I'm not a big fan of the college sports.
And then quickly wrap up the Boston sports, blah, blah, blah. It was your entire life for many years. Blah,
Yes, I'm from Boston. Grew up right outside Boston, so New England sports have been my thing for my life. So I haven't watched sports in about 10 years, 15 years. But I sat through all the things and did all the stuff and all the things. Because you're raised in New England, you have to watch the 4 teams. So I've done all the stuff, and that's probably why it burned me out, and I don't like any sports at all. I've totally cut... We had all the channels. We had the football, baseball, all the channels.
Your head is...
And now we have no channels.
No channels.
Rant.
Yeah.
Throw
I'm
sports.
old. I don't watch sports anymore.
Get off my lawn.
I'm an artist.
I'm an artist, man. No, I watched all the sports, so don't get me wrong. We used to watch all of them.
Yeah, you did. We watched all of them.
Yeah, we went to them. Everything.
Spent too much money on logos.
Yeah, exactly.
Boy.
I think California just makes... I think that's helped. In New England, we're stuck in the winter, like stuck inside. Listening to the hot stove heater and what's going on with the socks and what the paths were doing. And now that, I can go outside in the winter, it just helped kill my... I think it just killed my sports.
Josh Napier pops in, says, hey y'all, looks great as always.
Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining the stream.
He loves his octopus. He had a tingly sense in the back.
He knew what was going on.
That an octopus was being painted. I'm starting to get a perspective on how long this piece is going to take you. Because it's just like everything has to be rendered.
Yep. Yeah, there's no... easy, quick things for sure on this one.
says, I like how you break up the line work. Looks almost comic book like. It's lovely.
Thank you. What's the name?
That's Nicole.
Thank you, Nicole. Yeah, some things are just kind of what my brain sees texturally. I tend not to leave big open flat panels without some kind of texture or rendering inside them. It's just kind of, again, how I like to see things have. I like dirt and volume and...
Philippe, right? Your friend Felipe, is it Felipe or Philippe?
Felipe.
Felipe.
Is he here too?
Yeah, he says love it.
Jeez, everyone's coming out. It's like a New England reunion. Thank you, man. Hope things are going well for you over there. Where the heck are you now?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, isn't he somewhere else entirely?
He's not in New England anymore. He's overseas. I don't know where he's
I
at.
thought it was down south. East Timor. Well, you know what? We were never going to get that right.
Nope. That wasn't the high, I guessed.
Dum-dums like us can't even fathom it.
Is that in Ohio?
I think it is. Oh, Ben Wright is saying, any progress on owning a Highland cattle? Oh, my goodness. Wouldn't that just be the dream?
We're working on the grounds for it.
Yeah, we're technically we're looking at a new house, and that would have technically space for technically those kinds of animals.
So technically...
Just saying technically we're working towards a scenario by which if a Highland popped up and needed a home, it would probably suffer in this environment.
But yes, we are looking... Progress has been made actually on it, so... Are we having the time?
We are about an hour in.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll another 15 on the stream here.
Felipe says that East Timor is in Kansas.
Kansas.
Yes, of course.
Let's go kind of get back to what I was talking about the fun part. I mean, hair is just free flowing and fun to do, and you know, can't really mess up. It's kind of, you know, as long as you keep the key flow lines in place.
Well, it's funny to me that you've done the gouache, the underpainting, so you've already just kind of decided how the hair's going to fall, but you haven't.
No, not at all. I've given myself a couple guidelines, and I've ignored a bunch of them already. And with hair, the key part is to keep those, you know, deep volumes of it. I want it to be, like on the face, to be dark, where it's, you know, thick and folds in there.
Ben says, before my phone dies, what's the best state you've ever visited and why?
Oh, best state, Alaska.
For a visit, though, right?
For a visit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved Alaska. I thought it was unlike anything else I've seen in the country. I think I've been to, I'm at like 29 states of the 50. I just found Alaska was just so different. I mean, it's barren. It is a barren wasteland of, it's just
Rough
beautiful.
and natural.
Rough and natural. Yep.
Yeah.
I think I really enjoyed that, and then I would follow it with California because I'm biased.
And what would you say is your favorite city or country and or?
Oh, city and country and or. So I would think that my favorite country as a whole is definitely Italy. I've loved my time there. My favorite city would be Prague in the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
I think it's the most beautiful place I've ever seen. The most preserved, the most natural, and it beat Venice and it beat Florence, and I love those cities too. I just felt like Prague was just something special. Art's taken us to some crazy places. We've gotten in, it's been amazing, and to even be able to answer it like that. I mean, it sounds pretentious. Well, which foreign city? And to answer it not sound like a douche, but we've been very fortunate that art's taken us to these places. So,
But as an artist, you're looking at places differently,
Oh yeah, I mean,
Not going to the main sites, but just like, because I felt out of all the cities we've been to, I just felt like there was some bizarre artistic vibration going on in Florence.
yes,
In Florence, Italy. Like,
yes, it
was
felt
just,
creative.
Like you just felt, and a little bit, I had that same feeling in Rome and in Paris, but Florence, I just felt like art should be happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just felt like magical almost. It was really weird.
Yes,
I never kind of felt anything like that before.
especially Rome, where it's cliche to all of the parts, how old it is and all those parts, but you really feel that age. I grew up in New England, where the oldest thing, the 1700s, they find something once in a while. They uncover something when they're digging a highway. They find something from the 1700s. In Rome, they find it from pre BC ruin. It's amazing to see that kind of history, and you feel that.
Move your head a little bit. Yeah. Lady Jane over on IG says, "Love the beard beads." Yeah.
Thank you, Lady Jane.
They were stylish,
Exactly. Keep that beard rassled up.
Yeah. And you don't know, you might meet a Lady Neptune.
Yeah.
You gotta have your whole game on. Raymond was saying Berlin feels that way to him.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't been. We had a few trips planned before all this went to hell, and we were really going to extensively go around Germany, drive around, train around, really, because we've never been. Yeah. Oh, Nicole says, have you ever seen the catacombs in Rome? One of her bucket list destinations. Yeah, that's specifically why we did our traveling in the last 5 years.
Yes, we've traveled around to only see catacombs. So we saw the catacombs in Paris. We saw the Capuchin monks in Rome. We did the Fontanelle Cemetery in Naples, which I encourage anyone to see. That's the most amazing experience. It even beats the catacombs, to be honest. Look it up. The La Fontanelle Cemetery in Naples. Look up on Google and you'll be blown away.
Like our whole travel was planned around charnel houses.
Yeah, our goal is to see as many dead people as possible.
Yeah, like that was like the whole because why would someone go to the Czech Republic really? It was strictly because they had so many. Felipe says, let's plan some time in Portugal when all this is over. I had a house there. You could get me to go back to Portugal if you had a house there. Yeah. We had fun. We went to a few cities. We went for their kind of their Semana Santa.
Yeah,
which is
we
like
loved
their
Braga.
Holy Week.
Yep.
Yeah, we liked Braga a lot. We liked Porto. But yeah, it's like we have to rethink travel now. We were just traveling, every bit we could before all.
We're doing 2 international trips a year.
Yeah, like 2 trips a year.
And we got we took it for granted. Yeah, we're like, oh, this will go on forever. We'll be traveling forever.
Oh, yeah.
So we
can't wait to travel again.
Well,
I feel like it's gonna be like a year or 2.
Yeah. And the problem is when we want to travel, everyone else is going to want to travel again too.
True.
But again, I want to go to the Semana Santa in Spain again. I love that trip. Also, if you're Googling and following along, Semana Santa, Spain, amazing pictures, amazing trip also, and I highly encourage someone to do that.
It's interesting that our schedule is so open now, though. Like we will be able to just pick our travel times, off
Oh
season,
yeah,
and,
off season.
which has its benefits for sure.
I'm a big fan of off season. I was in Venice. We were in Venice, slightly shoulders of the season, right?
It was February.
It was February, so not season at all, and it was a little chilly. But I mean, every morning we could just walk around. There was nobody there. The entire place was empty.
It's awesome.
And it was a little, obviously a little chilly, but you can walk through, St. Mark's Square and not have to push people around, and it wasn't flooded. All these things that made it really special. So we were always an off-season kind of traveler, and I have no problem with that.
Raymond says it was great watching and chatting. See you June 2022.
You got it, man.
Love you too,
2020.
bud.
I will start cleaning out a 17-foot spot in my house. Great to see you, man. Good to hear from you. So we'll see you soon.
Yeah, good luck. That's awesome.
I'm gonna be
I'm so glad that artists are finding a way, because a lot weren't during this. I think
Yep.
A lot of artists got pushed out.
Exactly.
doing art,
Just derailed.
Yeah, derailed.
So the next challenge I have right here is I need to separate the hair from the arm because they're so close color-wise. So I'm gonna have to needle off some of this hair. And because it's inside and hidden by the head, there'd be a lot of shadow in there. So we're gonna need to probably steal some of this hair out of here.
I was just thinking about that travel question. The reason I don't care for U.S. travel is because they don't have ossuaries or charnel houses.
Yeah, exactly. And we've learned,
Come on.
we're so spoiled with traveling. We like to see something that's very culturally relevant. Celebrations, ceremonies. We've always talked about going to see Germany for the Christmas holiday markets. Something that that's very unique to those areas, and the U.S. just didn't have a lot of those to offer. Culturally dense, in areas. They have, we have celebrations that each. But not like, this kind of thing where the entire country is evolved. Again, the Semana Santa in Spain, the country just grinds to a halt, and it's only about that cultural event. And you can't find that in the country, in the U.S. I think I was able to carve that out a little better. Like what's going on now. Oh no, nope, I don't like that. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, nope.
So you're saying nope just because it's best to push this back?
Yeah, it didn't add anything, and just kind of made I don't like any of it. I like the solid silhouette of the arm. Just to let that hair and let it all. I don't like some of the hair shapes I don't love on this edge here, so we're just gonna make that feel more wispy. Take some of those out. Again, if it's not helping tell the story of the shape or the form or the light, then it doesn't really need to be there. But I'm gonna pull this hair down a little farther.
Poor Instagram is having problems.
We'll probably, it's the hour mark. Instagram always trips crap out at the hour mark.
Yeah, I guess that would probably be a pretty good place to
Are we gonna stream any more of this? You think? The bottom part with tentacles might be interesting to watch.
Yeah. Maybe capture a portion of it.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna get your questions in. If I missed them, I'll go back and get all the comments. But anything else, get in now. But we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. But we will be back this week, and I'll probably be working on the same guy here too, and let you see a little more of this. We'll post some pictures. I'll give you an up-close picture later on tonight too, so you can kind of see where it's at. You kind of see all the shapes and stuff. It's a little hard to see, obviously, with the camera. So again, thank you guys for joining me. Appreciate it. As always, thanks for hanging out in the studio. The dogs thank you. We thank you. Thank you for coming along this little crazy ride and supporting the art. We really appreciate it. So again, have a great night, and thanks.